Good morning to everyone. I'd like to call your attention to our sacred text, the Pauline epistles, Ephesians 6, 13 and 14. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand. Dr. Martin Luther King reminds us the ultimate measure of humanity is not where we stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where we stand at times of challenge and controversy. Let's be honest for just a moment and confess we prefer moments of comfort and convenience over challenges and controversy. As good law-abiding citizens, we gasp in disbelief when someone violates our social norms and disrupts our politics of respectability, because to do so makes us uncomfortable. It's awkward when our religion is negatively characterized. After all, we are women and men of faith, and we desire for the world to see the best religion has to offer. Therefore, we put religion's best in the display window of society and always the purest form. For those who follow the Christian tradition, we've sanitized the cross and the crucifixion. Historically, we've also sanitized the transatlantic slave trade, the civil rights protests, lynchings, and yes, even police brutality against Black people. The sanitization of the facts makes us more comfortable, especially as religious leaders. Dr. King again reminds us that history will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people. Those of us who have joined for this Clergy Caucus, we are the good people. We are the priest, the rabbi, the imam that crossed the road when we saw Michael Brown, Sandra Bland, Eric Gardner, and Trayvon Martin lying in the ditch of racism and white supremacy. And sadly, many of us good people refuse to march, protest, or to take a stand, but rather we remain in our silos of privilege. Many of us who have been complicit in white supremacy are finally seeing that Black lives actually matter. Maybe because we're in a pandemic and we do not have the distractions of religious activities, sports, and other forms of entertainment, that our eyes are open. We are noticing, perhaps for the first time, that the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor are not isolated incidents, but part of a much larger systematic problem. Policing is a violent institution, and it would take structural solutions to finally reform policing in this country. The police who killed Breonna Taylor have not been fired. The DA who refused to bring justice to Ahmaud Arbery is still holding office. Since we witnessed the murder of George Floyd on national TV, for the first time, many of us are asking, what can we do? What should we preach? If someone is asking you or asking us how to make a stand and asking us about what they should preach Sunday and how the scriptures might be a model of healing, take a stand, be honest, look them in the eyes, tell them that they are part of the problem. If they've never shaped the words white supremacy in a sermon before this moment, their pulpits are more concerned with maintaining the status quo. The fact that we don't know where to begin the conversation in our family, our church, our neighborhood, and community is the problem. George Floyd is requiring us in different ways to make a stand because there is no middle ground. The politics of respectability no longer works for us. Kyle Stevenson said it this way: we need to let go of unity as an ideal for a while in America. Justice and a confrontation and challenge of power is divisive. Some of y'all, some of us want to be unified around the status quo. Status quo has failed us. In the words of Brother Malcolm X, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Today, I admonish you through and by the power of God, take a stand. Take a stand as the prophets stood. Take a stand as our prophets of old, as well as our contemporary prophets, make a stand. As we stand, we indeed transform the world. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop Laney.